everyone. Dan Eisner here from ZLC Employee Benefit Solutions. Welcome to this episode of my Better Benefits podcast series. I put these podcasts together based on my passion to find better ways for employee benefits. And I do this by leveraging my relatively unique profile, having almost 25 years experience as an employee benefits advisor and being the only chartered professional accountant working in this industry in the local market. If you've been following my podcast, you'll know that I've spoken a couple of times about Ozempic, mainly trying to clarify what the initial hype was all about and then how this was going to fit into employee benefits plans. In this podcast, I want to talk about a related issue. Is it time that we stopped shaming employees for their interest in using weight loss drugs similar to Ozempic to manage their obesity? Okay, let's get started. So, Ozempic, a drug that very few people knew about a year or two ago, has changed the world we live in. It's become a household name, especially within the employee benefits industry. This surge in notoriety has brought both praise and criticism. While Ozempic and similar drugs have significantly benefited diabetics, their use for weight loss has sparked lots of discussion. So it may be time to reconsider the stigma surrounding weight loss drugs and recognize their potential benefits. So diabetes has now grown to be the top therapeutic class of drugs in Canada, and the prevalence of diabetes is expected to grow further given the relative age and relative poor health of Canadians. There is no doubt that Ozempic and the broader class of drugs commonly known as GLP-1 drugs has had a profoundly positive impact on the health of diabetics. However, despite their success in treating diabetes, GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic have faced backlash for their off-label use in weight loss. Social media and celebrity endorsements have intensified this negativity, thereby overshadowing the drug's benefits. All that said, the Canadian insurance industry has now built suitable protocols and employee benefits plans to ensure that these drugs are only available to diabetics, which has also helped address supply chain concerns. All the excitement around Ozempic did generate some positive discussion around obesity. There are drugs equivalent to Ozempic that will soon be available to Canadians under the classes of weight loss drugs. So Wegovy is the weight loss equivalent to Ozempic, and stay tuned for another drug called Zepbound. Recognizing obesity as a chronic disease opens the door to medical interventions that can help manage it effectively. This shift is crucial considering that over 60% of Canadians face health risks related to being overweight or obese. There may also be greater acceptance for weight loss drugs given that there might be a positive return on investment by reducing plan costs for current expenses like one, drugs treating blood pressure, cholesterol, and mental health conditions like anxiety and depression. Two, medical devices like CPAP machines, knee braces, and orthotics. And three, for paramedical services like physiotherapy and massage. Moreover, supporting weight loss aligns with diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives given that it's an ongoing issue for the majority of Canadians who are either overweight or obese. With Ozempic now effectively restricted to diabetics and their effective equivalents becoming available for weight loss drugs, where do we go from here? When trying to assess future employee benefits trends in Canada, it's often useful to look south of the border of the US, as they feel healthcare issues more acutely since plan sponsors in the US are also responsible for the much larger primary healthcare costs. So here are a couple of recent market trends within the US. So several leading insurers in the US have agreed to provide coverage for weight loss drugs to employees with certain heart conditions, not just to achieve weight loss, but given that they meet certain body weight criteria, and this will reduce heart attack risk. Another interesting move is Costco members in the US will soon be able to access weight loss drugs if they're approved by a third-party provider that will also help those patients with appropriate diet, exercise, and lifestyle modifications. Based on my recent experience, I believe employee benefits plan sponsors in Canada are generally supportive of adding weight loss drugs to their plans, but they are concerned about the potential costs and the lack of data to support that there will be offsetting decreases in current plan costs. Note that your employee benefits plan may already include some coverage for weight loss drugs, but newer GLP-1 drugs like Wegovy may not be covered. So it's these new GLP-1 drugs and their weight loss equivalents that have truly changed the landscape around obesity and could reshape the related healthcare system for millions of Canadians. Perhaps we need to assess this dilemma from a morally compelling perspective. So let's take a look at things because we do not currently withhold medication for other chronic diseases like hypertension, cardiovascular, mental health conditions, just because lifestyle changes alone could help in their treatment. So, why shouldn't obesity be treated similarly with a combination of medical intervention and lifestyle adjustment? Why is it still appropriate to simply compel those with obesity to treat it with willpower and lifestyle adjustments around diet and exercise? Even when other chronic conditions can be improved with lifestyle changes, we do not cease providing medications. Obesity is recognized as a deadly chronic disease, and we may now have a way to treat it. So, where do employee benefit plan sponsors go from here? In a perfect world, we need assistance from the Canadian insurance industry to ensure that these drugs are going to the right people and to ensure that coverage will continue only if they generate positive results. Eligibility criteria such as BMI levels or physician recommendations, these things can help ensure these drugs are used appropriately. In my opinion, if employees do not play their own part in a weight loss program and or the drugs prove to be ineffective, coverage really should cease. This all makes sense intuitively, but there are a lot of remaining steps that have to be addressed in order to make this all happen. Personally, I truly believe it is time to stop shaming weight loss drugs and recognize their potential to improve health outcomes for those struggling with obesity. Obesity is a chronic and deadly disease, and medical intervention should be embraced just as it is for other chronic diseases. By shifting our perspective and policies, we can transform obesity treatment and enhance the healthcare system for millions of Canadians. Okay, now you've heard my thoughts and opinions. Let me know what you think. Was this advice helpful? How does this compare to what you're hearing from your current advisor or other advisors in the market? As well, I'm always interested to know if there are other topics that you'd like to see me cover in future podcasts. Let me know what's bothering you or keeping you awake at night with respect to your employee benefits plan. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure to follow me on my LinkedIn business page. That's Dan Eisner, Employee Benefits Advisor, and you'll get a notification on the next Better Benefits podcast. And all that information will come up on the screen in a second. Thanks so much.